we're in conversation with Karla Pilgrim. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Award-winning singer-songwriter, and there's so many career highlights we can talk about. I would like to get the story about performing for the troops overseas, what that was like.
Well, there was a friend of mine that was booking. I think she booked one tour. There's a base like up north. I can't remember where it is, but anyway, she started booking shows for Afghanistan, and she got me on one of the tours. I went in as the French content, if you can believe that. I can barely speak proper English, so I don't speak French. But anyway, I learned these songs phonetically. We picked out a couple of these songs, and I went over, and we started out. It was in the month of May. It was on my birthday actually that we flew over, because I remember spending my birthday on a stopover in Farringdon, England.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was that was in 2007. I'm pretty sure. 2007, a long time ago. Time is crazy. So we went over, and it was right in the middle of the war that was on the go. Then it was hot and heavy at that time. So mom and dad were freaked right out, of course. I mean, the daughter going in the middle of a war zone. But yeah, so we put together this East Coast kitchen party.
How fun.
Yeah, so it was me and the Fables, J.P. Cormier and his wife at the time from the East Coast, from Cape Breton, and a comedian from Montreal, and he was the host. So we started out at the base in Trenton. And then they flew us into Dubai, which was Camp Mirage.
Wow.
Camp Mirage, right? It was a decompression camp. So basically, with the soldiers, when they'd come in off the outside the line, what they call it, where they're fighting, they'd get to have these little breaks, right? And they'd bring them to Dubai on this base, and they'd just get to chill for a few days. So it wasn't a huge base, but we were there for the better part of a week, I think. And so we did a few shows there, and we got to go in and go into the gold souks and ride the camels and all of that kind of stuff too, right? They made sure that we really got to see the touristy side of being where we were too. And then we went into CAF, Kandahar, that's it,
yeah.
Not Canada. I had to
Kandahar,
I had to wrap my head around that for a second. Kandahar, H's are hard for me, but I want to say Kandahar. Kandahar airfield, and we went in there, and of course there's thousands and thousands of men and women there. And we did a pile of shows in there, and it was so odd in a lot of ways, because here we were in the middle of this war zone on this base. And I felt so safe, really. I felt it was like the safest time I ever felt in my life. I mean, everyone's going around with a gun on their side, and it was explained to us that we were so far inside the danger zone, right? So there's the camp, there's the base, and then there's what they call outside the wire, and then there was another wire, and then there was another wire, right? So you had to get through three security legs, I guess, to get to the base. But anyway, there was a social life there that we were able to experience, and doing the shows was just, we were there, and it was Mother's Day, just after Mother's Day. So I remember singing Good Mother. That was part of my show, and I sang Traveling Soldier was one of my songs. And I never sing that song without seeing, like I can visualize where I was, and there was at one night when I was singing it, there was the fighter jets were flying over and things like that. It was
wow.
It was so incredible. Like as a civilian, you don't get to experience that sort of thing, right?
Well, talk about a gig that will stay with you your whole life.
Definitely.